Holy shit, we watch anime. Persona 4 The Golden Episode 1. What did you think, Vic?
It was boring, and it was weird. I didn't like the pacing, and it was dumb.
Neither of us have played Persona 4, right?
Nope.
But I've seen
I know what it's like.
I've played Persona 3. I've seen the first, 8 episodes of the original Persona 4 anime, which was kind of mediocre, but it had an excuse in a way because the artists, or the animators at the studio, AIC, were, on strike or something, and the show just looked like shit a lot of the time, and I didn't like the pacing of the episodes because they always felt like they were just rushing through stuff that obviously took longer in the game. So then they decided to remake the anime. This time it's A1 Pictures, our favorite studio, making the... They're not our favorite studio. Making the adaptation, and it's of Persona 4 The Golden this time, which is the re-release of Persona 4 that has an additional character, and it was for the PS Vita. Ooh. So... the plot of this episode, the first 17 minutes, exactly the same. Now, you've played the beginning of the game, right?
I'm not sure if I played it or if it was from that two best friends play.
Oh, two best friends play.
That I know what happens.
Either way, the
familiar.
first 17 minutes are exactly the same as the first TV show. Same animation style, same things are happening, same music, which is the game music. It looks exactly the same. But the funny thing is, the whole time I was watching it, I was like, this feels worse than what I remember it being like. And I thought, because I remember the original having a lot more energy, more humor in it, and this one was just kind of robotically going through scenes. And then we realized it's because they were condensing it. They took what was originally a 22-minute episode, condensed it to 17 minutes, so that after the credits they could have this 5-minute scene introducing the new character. What was that scene? It was so fucking boring.
It was weird.
First of all, the new character, Hot Topic.
She's the ugliest fucking thing. She's a hot mess. She's a literal Hot Topic mess. She's just too much. Just everything compiled.
She looks like she was
horrible.
Rolling downhill and went through a Hot Topic and came out the other side with all the clothes on her.
She had a collar with a lock on it.
And
the fuck is that?
Her personality so far is the most boring tsundere archetype ever. All of her dialogue has been, it's not like I was writing a poem, but baka. So they introduce her in this horribly boring scene, and I was like, this can only possibly matter or make sense to people who are fans of the game, which being as we're not, it did not matter or make sense to us at all. We were just like, what the fuck is this scene? Why is the pacing so bad? The action scene.
The action scene was lame. It's like they really thought it was awesome. Like they were trying to throw their own little spice into this otherwise completely boring episode. But it was just kind of dumb. There was a billion tongue ball guys, and they just come out of nowhere, and then
this is a case
they're
where
all just standing around while he just
this is a case where the
thing.
people making it think as long as it's epic, therefore it'll be awesome. What if he takes out 1,000,000 dudes? Think about that from a dramatic perspective. We've seen this guy take out 1,000,000 fucking things at once. When are we ever gonna fear for this guy's life at this point, you know?
Never.
When are you ever gonna think he could lose a battle? He did it effortlessly!
Exactly, he just stood there.
He's
Everyone stood
Persona.
there, and his persona came out, and he didn't
Just
question. He wasn't
everything.
what is this?
I'm not trying to say it
What is
wasn't
this
visually
thing that's
impressive.
happening?
It was. To see that many objects on screen
Yeah,
was kind of
I guess
visually
it was
impressive.
An impressive amount of fucking floating
Unfortunately,
tongue guys.
the visual impressiveness made it really hard to stream on Crunchyroll, so it was just
Yeah, it ate shit. But...
trying to render all these fucking goddamn tongue monsters.
It was dumb to me. Why? Why did it do that?
I don't know. It was a weird way, and it was not like that in the
It was
original
awkward.
show.
It felt awkward and out of place. And just
probably not like
random.
that. I mean, because in the game, you'd probably be fighting that battle.
Exactly.
And it would probably just be 3 enemies, a
Exactly.
sensible
Could have had
number.
3 enemies and actually had a well choreographed fight with them or something, and not just
Why
let's
a
have
million?
him run around and fight 1,000,000 at once just by swinging his sword around and just killing What was that? While they stand around and just kind of watch.
It looked like it was supposed to be funny, but the show doesn't have a sense of humor, so it's not
nothing.
funny, you know? And Persona games are funny, and the original show was funny, but this was not funny. But the thing is, I think I'm going to hold off on watching or talking about this show after episode 1, just because I haven't played the game yet and I want to.
Yeah.
So I think I will withhold any further commentary on Persona 4. The Golden until I'm not gonna play the Golden because I hate the Vita, and you guys both sold them, right? You and Don sold them?
No, I saw mine.
Oh, you still have a Vita?
Yeah, probably
Does
still
he
has the
still
game.
have
I
the
don't know.
golden? Either way, I don't really like the PlayStation Vita, and like people be like, "Oh, but there's an extra character," and I'm like, not that promising. The extra character, not that excited to see her storyline.
Kind of lame.
She's a total lame character, so probably just play through the original, which I have on PS2 and I've never played. So then we also watched episode 2 of Argevollen, and it was really boring.
I was glad that in episode, at some point, she tried to say the name of the robot, and she was like, Argevollen, and I was like, exactly.
There is
thank
good
you.
stuff in the episode when she's that whole scene is great when she's like trying to read it from the paper, but she's like too nervous and can't pronounce the robot's name. Even the other people are like the Arge whatever, like fuck this robot thing. There's that, like the sense I got. I was explaining this to you earlier. Like what I hope about this show is that it's going to have like really cool, realistic, tactical mecha battles at some point. And the reason that I have some confidence that might happen is because the show's not trying to appeal in any other way other than robots. You look at the opening theme, lots of robots. You look at the ending theme, lots of robots. There's no real fan service, in spite of having a mostly female cast. The female character designs aren't super slick and sexy. They're just girls in military uniforms, Not really any fan service. There's no sex appeal. There's no like over the top epic shit happening. Like, oh man, he's killing 1 million tongue monsters. Yeah. It's like he can barely control the fucking robot.
He punched one robot and killed it, and then he ran away.
He punched a robot. That's about all he got done.
I didn't like that robot fist fighting. He was just like, I'm just gonna punch it because I don't know where the weapons are.
Right. And then,
and I was completely expecting one of those like, oh, I found the weapon button, and now it's like this retardedly powerful weapon he pulled out. But it didn't happen.
Right, so it's... But at the same time, even though it's going for, like, the real robot feel, at the same time, like, really punching and kicking robots, like, it's kind of like a super robot thing to do in a real robot show.
Well, it helps sell the fact that this robot is so much more powerful than the other ones because he can just punch through one.
But they didn't look as slow. Like, the other robots didn't look as slow as they had looked.
Well, that was the enemy robots, which were faster. But then his robot is impervious to bullets, like a Gundam, so that's what makes it really stand out. And then it has more... Gundanium. It can fucking jump kick. That's where it's
made of Argevollen.
That's where the people were like, holy shit, he just jump kicked me in a fucking robot. This is different.
What gave me hope when I saw the opening theme is that it shows the main character and the leader of the brigade, like, standing back to back, like they're both the main character. Mm-hmm. So what I'm hoping is it means that guy's going to have, like, all these tactics and stuff, and the main character guy is going to act out those tactics. So that would be cool if there's, like, big tactical battles. And, like, when a show... like literally banks entirely on the appeal of this is a real robot show, I feel like there's gotta be something there, and I've seen shows like this that get really good after a while, where they're just setting up the story now and then there's gonna be some big battle, but at the same time
nothing happened.
I'm not holding my breath,
so it didn't seem like it was building towards anything.
So if like I'll probably give this 3 or 4 episodes, and if it picks up then good, and if it doesn't pick up and I get bored, I'll probably drop it. I also watched episode 2 of Glasslip. He didn't make it that far. You thought the first episode was atrocious, because it kind of was.
Awful.
Episode 2 is unfathomably fucking boring. The creators of Glasslip seem to have no idea how to hook an audience. They don't try to make you care about any of the characters. They just all have, like, all I know about them is melodrama. All I know is they're all fucking in love with each other and none of them can take it.
They're just frustrated high school kids. They have, like, shitloads of just so many chemicals going through them, and they're just confused and enraged because they're in love with each other, and they're so sexually frustrated that they're just mindlessly doing things.
This is the angriest episode of the show.
It is.
We have nothing positive to say.
It's just been shit.
We watched Bakumatsu Rock episode 2 was awesome.
Good. Yes, that was fun.
Wait for that video.
It's just
I'm going to put out the Bakumatsu Rock 2 video, and we all have fun, and it's a good-ass time.
Yes.
The other shows that I've watched today...
And they were just... They were, like, offensive to me. Persona 4 wasn't that... I was just being, like, exaggerated, but...
You hated Sailor... You watched
dumb.
the first episode of Sailor Moon Crystal, and it...
fucking offended me.
He was in a bad mood all day over the first episode of Sailor Moon Crystal.
This is not good. I just watched the first episode of the original, like, 2 weeks ago or something.
Right.
So it was like, I went and watched this one, I was like, this is just...
It's a shot-for-shot remake, but without all the charm, is what you said.
Yes, all of the charm. Anything that made it watchable before was sucked out of it.
So, yeah, Victor was put in a bad mood by Sailor Moon Crystal, and Argevollen and Persona 4 did not get you out of it. When did you watch episode 1 of Glasslip?
That was like a few days ago.
Oh.
That was the first thing I watched. Literally, the first new anime I watched was the first episode of Glasslip.
Same here, because
like,
it was the first one to come out, but it was episode 2 was horrible. So that's dropped. There's nothing else I watched today, right? I guess not. Negativity. But seriously though, Bakumatsu Rock 2, fucking awesome, good show.
Definitely.
That's it.
Excellent.